Bell time and we're underway. MCW Wrestling action. Michael St. John at ringside. I'm joined by none other than Billy Joe Travis for the festivities today. And in this first match, Frenchy Riviera, 451 pounds out of the south of France, taking on Gary, the Boogie Woogie Boy Valiant. And Frenchy just strutting around the ring, if you would, showing his weight.
Well, let me tell you something, Michael. Frenchy has one of the best bodies in professional sports today. Just look at that body. Great. Look at the long red hair. That's all natural, too. Did you know that?
I know it's brand new. I think it was bought 2 weeks ago at Sears. But the fact of the matter, he does have the biggest body in professional wrestling today. It looks like the side of a Mack truck. And there's a side headlock. Valiant sent into the ropes. Comes out with a kick. Oh, whoa, look at this. There.
Oh, wait a second.
Frenchy Riviera. And I think Frenchy Riviera has been exposed. There is Skinny Kenny on the apron and down on the floor now, trying to get Frenchy back into the ring.
And you don't call that pulling hair, Michael St. John? You don't call that pulling hair?
I think, Billy, I'll have to agree with you that time. I think his hair was pulled. In fact, that wig was pulled right off the top of that hair. Frenchy Riviera, the reason the head is shaved is the fact that he lost a match and lost his hair here on MCW just a few weeks ago.
No, he pulled it from the roots. His head is bleeding. He's going to have stitches.
Well, it looks like it's in some kind of good shape, and that, if you would, wig is tossed to the apron, and now there's the real Frenchy Riviera.
Now, who's this guy, Gary Valiant? Is it supposed to be Handsome Jimmy's son?
Well, I don't really know if there is a blood connection there, but I know he has taken the Valiant name, which is truly one of the classic names in professional wrestling.
Yeah, have you seen Handsome Jimmy lately? He's so skinny he could hula hoop through a Cheerio.
Handsome Jimmy Valiant and Luscious Johnny Valiant at one time, the epitome of tag team wrestling. And there is Gary Valiant taking the measure thus far here on MCW of old Frenchy Riviera. And Frenchy's gonna go to the floor again to the safety of Skinny Kenny, his manager.
You call that wrestling?
Oh, look at this. No, I call that sickening, Billy Joe Travis.
Yeah, if I was in the ring with Gary Valiant, I'd teach him a wrestling lesson. You know I'm one of the best wrestlers in the country. I've been everywhere, and I've beat everybody.
Well, I know right now there are a lot of folks looking for you, Mr. Travis, and I can't say that they're all in the wrestling ring.
Wait a second. Do I look very hard to find, Michael?
You're right here on
I am right here. I'm not hard to find. I've beaten everybody.
Well, I know right now, I've been hearing you now for a couple of weeks say you're ready for a title shot here on MCW, but I don't see you in the ring with that title shot. What's the reason?
Let me explain that. It's got to be a conspiracy against Billy Joe Travis. I'll tell you, the MCW, they don't want Billy Joe to have a title shot because they're afraid that he will run off with the belt. They know I can beat anybody here, and they're afraid I'll run off with the belt, maybe to Puerto Rico or maybe to New York.
Has that ever happened before, Billy Joe? Now, honestly.
I have shown up every time I've been booked in wrestling. Every time. I've never missed a match in my life.
Well, you've shown up, but maybe you haven't shown up at the right building at the right night. The fact of the matter is MCW, well, I have a feeling you'll get your shot at the MCW. In fact, the North American title right now held by none other than Wolfie D. Terry Golden is the Southern champion, and both of those titles in the world of professional wrestling are very important titles as you climb the ladder to success. Those belts, as you well know, mean money, and I know for a fact that's why you want a shot at that belt.
You know how many belts I've held, don't you, Brian?
You've had a few. You have had a few.
I've had a few. I've had more than a few. I've had partners. I've had the best. I've trained the best partners. I've trained Jeff Jarrett. I've trained Brian Christopher. I've trained them all those so-called superstars. This is a superstar, Billy Joe Travis.
Well, this young man is making quite an impression here today on MCW. And Gary Valiant, and he has got Frenchy Riviera a little shook up. I think that's maybe a little mind game, which Frenchy is pretty good at playing. But today on MCW, it looks like Gary Valiant has the upper hand.
Well, you just wait 1 minute, Michael. Watch old Frenchy. Frenchy's a sly dog. He's just getting ready to take over in this guy, and he's just going to do that big old splash of his, and it'll be all over. 1, 2, 3. Come on, Frenchy, do what I told you to.
They lock it up, collar and elbow tonight. There's wrestling in Nashville, Tennessee at the Music City Fairgrounds Arena. Big card of action on tap tonight. All the superstars from MCW will be here. And
you mean all the superstar, Billy Joe?
Don't forget, next Saturday, the 7th of February, the fabulous February reunion at the Fairgrounds Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. In town for that one, the original Rock and Roll Express. Also, Buddy Landell, the Nature Boy, will be in, and he will get a title shot at the North American title, now held by Wolfie D.
Well, Wolfie D better kiss that title goodbye, because the Nature Boy will take that title. He's been everywhere, and he's beat everybody just like Billy Joe.
Gary Valiant sent to the floor by Frenchy Riviera, and there's Skinny Kenny, the manager, if you would. It looks like he's doing a little bit more than managing, a little hands-on action on the
Wait a second, Mike, he's trying to help him in the ring. Look at it, he just helped him right back in the ring. Skinny Kenny doesn't cheat.
Right there, you see Frenchy Riviera taking over on young Gary Valiant, who had things going early in this match. But right now, Frenchy is, as much as I hate to admit it, to the prediction of Billy Joe Travis, taking over in this way.
By the way, did you read Skinny Kenny's T-shirt? I hate fat people.
Yeah,
and I agree with him 100%. I hate stinking, rotten, scummy, fat people.
Elbow drop by Frenchy Riviera. You got the count of 2. Well, you know, you were just praising what a great wrestler Frenchy Riviera is in the ring on one breath, and the next breath you're saying you agree with the T-shirt that Skinny Kenny is wearing that says, I hate fat people.
But Frenchy's weight goes with his height. He's well proportioned.
Oh, boy, look at that. Clothesline to the back of the neck. Gary Valiant never saw it coming, and he is down. And
he sure didn't. Did you see him knock his hair off? Look at his hair in the ring, Mike.
Earlier in the match, we saw Frenchy Riviera decapitate, well, I should say deheritated, and now Frenchy Riviera has got the referee distracted, and while he's got the referee distracted, Kenny is working over Gary Valiant on the ropes.
Ooh. Look at Frenchy, just taking over like the male stripper he is.
451 pounds on top of the neck over the ropes, and that's going to take it out of any man, and Gary Valiant is down. Now, Frenchy trying to rouse the crowd to get behind him, but I'll tell you, anybody getting behind Frenchy Riviera, they better pay attention to the fact that he has a sign that says wide load on that behind.
Well, you know how many cheeseburgers Frenchy can put away?
Oh, I would say several dozen.
You bet he can.
He can put them away, I'm telling you. He could probably swallow them in one bite.
That's where he gets all that stamina at, Michael.
Cheeseburgers?
Yes.
Skinny Kenny up on the ring apron. He's arguing. Referee Gene Johnson's threatening to send him right back to the dressing room, and in the meantime, Frenchy Riviera using that distraction as a point of choking Gary Valiant, and he has got Gary in the worst way, Billy Joe.
That's called strategy, Michael St. John. This match is not going to last too much longer. Frenchy's getting ready to take it on home.
All right there, Frenchy Riviera with that little uppercut there, just nodding at the camera. I know he's got to be proud of himself.
I'm proud of him.
Well, I'll tell you, here at MCW, we have some characters that are tremendous athletes, but we have some wrestlers that will bend the rope. Oh, Gary Valiant catching Frenchy coming in. And
Get up, Frenchy!
Taking off his feet with that clothesline.
Get up, Frenchy!
And this character, Frenchy Riviera, he has a mastermind of deceit, if you will, in his wrestling style, but he is a man that can take a lot of punishment, but he'll dish it right back out. And right now, here comes Gary Valiant, right back.
Throwing the fist, that's right, he's throwing the fist. Gonna
whip him into the ropes, nope, reversal, coming off, Gary Valiant caught, back body drop. Frenchy, is this gonna be
You
the
got it,
slam?
oh!
Right there.
It's all over, Frenchy!
The winner, the big man, Frenchy Riviera. More MCW wrestling action is
no doubt.
Coming this February to the Nashville Fairgrounds Sports Arena, MCW presents the fabulous February reunion. An unprecedented lineup of today and tomorrow's top names in MCW wrestling will get your heart pumping Saturday, February 7th. Don't miss the fabulous February reunion, February 7th at the Nashville Fairgrounds Sports Arena.
Oh, it's a hot one in the big town tonight, ladies and gentlemen.